Hi you guys, welcome back to Phil and Alex 2, and today I'm going to share with you our family's oatmeal bake recipe. It is one of my favorites. I am not a morning person, and I wish I was, and I'm working on it. But breakfast in the morning is nice when it's kind of simple and easy. And so sometimes that means cereal, but I don't like to give my kids a lot of sugar, and so sometimes we want to do some oatmeal. Well, oatmeal for the family would be great, but I personally just love this oatmeal bake better than just like a bowl of oatmeal. Okay, so let's get started. All of the ingredients that you're gonna need. You're gonna need some oats. You're gonna need some brown sugar, and I will do either brown sugar, just regular brown sugar, or I will do some coconut sugar in like direct replacement, or sometimes I'll even do, probably my favorite is when I do it with maple syrup. You also need some baking powder, cinnamon, some salt in there, and raspberries. I just use frozen fruit for this recipe. You can use fresh, absolutely, but for our family, it's just nice to have frozen fruit in the freezer, ready to go when I need it. So a cup of frozen raspberries. You are going to need 2 cups of milk. Again, any kind of milk that you want, any milk that you guys like to have. Today I'm just using the milk that we have is almond milk. 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of butter, and vanilla, and a banana. Again, ew, it's kind of mushy. Oh, gross. Okay, a fresh banana would be great, but again, we freeze a lot of our fruit. I'll freeze a whole bunch of bananas and have them for smoothies, and I will just use a frozen banana for this oatmeal bake. Okay, so now that you have pulled together all your ingredients, since I just read off all of those perfect ingredients you need, let's just get started. Let's preheat our oven to 375, have that ready to go. Okay, and then I already did this, but just like an 8x10 pan, I'm gonna just grease up however way you just grease up your pan. Okay. So in a large mixing bowl, I'm gonna get all the dry ingredients. So the only kind of switch would be, depending if you wanna use brown sugar, if you wanna use maple syrup, this is gonna go with your dry, this one's gonna go with your wet ingredients. So I'm gonna get 2 cups of oats, put it in my big bowl. Sometimes I like doubling the recipe, but it will make the bars a little bit thicker, and I kind of like them just as is, like kind of a little bit thinner, they get a little bit crispier. I just like it like that. This time I'm gonna use maple syrup, so I'm gonna save this for when we use our liquid ingredients. So I'm gonna put all my dry brown sugar away. Next I'm gonna do some baking powder, and I need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And just go ahead and sprinkle that in there. Again, I just like grab all this stuff and just throw it together, and you can almost eyeball it. It really isn't like an exact science. Like right now, I'm gonna put some cinnamon in it. It just went over by like a lot, but that's okay. It'll just be extra cinnamony this time, and that's fine. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is my little easy to get salt shaker. This one I won't overdo because I've done that before and it comes out a little salty. And I don't necessarily need it to be like that. So next I'm gonna put in my berries. So this one is 1 cup of raspberries. You could use any berries. I just have really found that I really like the raspberries. You can save some of the raspberries if you wanna sprinkle them on top. I just like to put all of them in there. I'm just gonna mix that up just like a little bit, stir that around, put that to the side. In a second bowl, doesn't even have to be this big, I'm gonna put all my wet ingredients together. Okay, so 2 cups of milk. Again, any kind of milk that you want. Sometimes I've used rice milk, almond milk, you can use regular milk. Any milk will do. 1 and 2. Okay, 1 egg. I have used an egg replacement before. You know, if you Google, you can look like for this to be a vegan recipe. You can replace your egg. I've done it with banana before, but it made it really, really sweet. But I think there's other ways that you can replace egg, like with chia seeds and things like that. But don't drop the shell in there. That's not part of the recipe. Okay. And then butter. I'm gonna eyeball it. It's going to be 3 tablespoons of butter. If you wanna be a little bit healthier, you don't have to quite put in all 3. It does make it really good. And I'm just gonna melt it a little bit, just so it'll whisk up a little bit easier. While I wait for that to melt, oh, I'm gonna add my maple syrup instead of the brown sugar. So I'm gonna do 1/3, a little bit longer. Okay, I am going to do 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup. And again, if you're okay with it not being super sweet, you can lessen any sugar amount that you want. Woo. Nice and melted. Okay, so I'm just gonna whisk up that egg, and then, so this one's really warm. Sometimes your milk is a little bit cold, so I try to just whisk it really quickly while I'm pouring it in, just because it might harden the butter a little bit. But if it's not perfectly smooth, that's okay. Again, you're just gonna be putting everything together and it's gonna bake in the oven. And so everything's just gonna melt and mesh and be so delicious. Vanilla, 1 tablespoon. Okay, all right. Okay, what do? We did milk, we did eggs, we did butter, we did vanilla, and we did maple syrup, all in here. Guys, I'm getting so close to being done. Okay, so I'm gonna take my 8.5 by 11 pan. I'm gonna take my dry ingredients that I just kind of mixed together just a little bit. Again, my dry ingredients were, which ones? Oats, sugar, if you're gonna do the dry sugar, but I did maple syrup, so it went in the other one. Baking powder, cinnamon, salt, and your berries. Okay, I'm gonna put all that in there. Okay, sometimes I like to be sneaky, and actually often I like to be sneaky and put in some extra nutrition into our food that the girls don't even know exists. And so one thing I like to add are flax seeds, and I will mix that in with the dry ingredients. I don't really have a rhyme or reason to an amount. I'm just gonna take a scoop and sprinkle it in. I like to hide flax seeds and chia seeds into a lot of our food, and sometimes hemp seeds also. I feel like all of those are really small, they don't really taste like a lot, and they get hidden very easily. That is my go-to trick for adding nutrition for kids' foods. Flax seeds, chia seeds, and hemp seeds. I put it in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich the other day. They didn't even know. It was great. Okay, so all my dry ingredients is in my pan. Now I'm just gonna take the wet ingredients and hold it there to the side for just a second. I am going to put my banana on first. Okay, so my kind of melted frozen banana, I'm just gonna chop up. You just take it and arrange it on top. No rhyme or reason. You can put a pretty design because you want to be cute and it's special for a certain birthday, or you can throw it on because you're tired and it's the night before and you just want to get breakfast ready for the next day. Whichever way you want to do it. And you can do a lot of banana and cover it like the whole layer and do maybe 2 bananas, maybe 3, or you can just kind of spread it out. I think I will do another one. So this is my frozen bananas that I get out of my freezer. I have them ready to go. It's really nice. I know some people will throw away bananas. I will freeze them right before they go too bad. Except for if they're super frozen, then you need a sharper knife to cut. Okay, so I have my dry ingredients on the bottom, I have my bananas on top, and I'm going to take my liquid ingredients and just pour it right on over top. And then you want to shake it a little bit and make sure your liquid gets all the way to the bottom, you don't have any dry spots. Ah, perfect timing. My oven just preheated in the perfect amount of time. So I have put this as is in the fridge and held it overnight. It's just the butter in the milk will sometimes solidify and it's not quite as blended. So I'd rather cook it maybe the night before or, you know, a couple of days before, and then it will be ready to go just to reheat over the next few days. And I'm going to bake it for 35 to 40 minutes, and depending on your oven, your altitude, all that fun stuff, if you like things on the gooier side or if you want it on the crispier side, you can play around with the exact time. But guys, that's it. And I have that ready, it's heated, it's done. I love my pan because I have a lid that I can just put on top when it cools and put it in the fridge and pull it out and reheat it, and it's ready for the morning. This is honestly one of my saving graces in the morning is my oatmeal bake. I love it. I hope you guys love it. Let me know in the comments below if you tried it, if you love it, if you want more ideas and recipes that we do around with our family to make things easier and add some nutrition to your life. Just go ahead and leave it in the comments below, and I will try to get some more good recipe videos out to you guys. But I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Thanks for coming along on this oatmeal bake day, and we will see you guys in our next video. Bye.